everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
And this, the right wing can never, ever forgive Candace Owens or Tucker Carlson for. They can never forgive them for what I'm about to say. Whatever you think about what happened on September 10th, whoever you think did it, it doesn't matter on some level. Whether he was shot or blown up, who pulled the trigger, or who was in Tyler Robinson's ear that made him pull the trigger, all of that exists independently from one very inconvenient fact, well documented thoroughly, which is that Charlie Kirk died that day, publicly, gruesomely. It was horrific. And people that didn't even like him cried that day, but not everybody. There were hundreds, thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of left-wingers. Their first reaction, seeing a young man, 31 years old, with a wife and kids, publicly executed, his neck gushing with blood in front of hundreds of college students, their first reaction was to smile and laugh, and then to celebrate, and then film themselves celebrating, because that's how wicked they are. That's how much hatred the left has for us, all of us. That's who Charlie Kirk was. He represents all of us. I didn't like him. He didn't like me. I didn't agree with him. He didn't agree with me. He thought I should have been censored. But the left hates Charlie Kirk because he says the things that we all basically believe, because he defended Christianity, because he defended white people, because he defended America, he defended tradition, he defended conservatism, he defended free markets and the right to own the product of our labor. In the broad strokes, we're all pretty much in alignment with Charlie Kirk. And because he was the face promoting those values, that's how much hatred they harbor for him. And we live with these people. These people are our neighbors. They work with us. They go to school with our kids. They're your elderly parents' nurses. They're your children's teachers. Their first reaction to seeing an innocent man shot in the neck, blood gushing from his neck in front of kids who came and brought the shirt and the hat just to see him and see him defend Christianity in America, their gut reaction, instinctual reaction, was glee.
I'm trying to see how that is relevant to not being forgiven, or Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson not being forgiven. One thing's for sure is that I too was disgusted by people's reactions, the Halloween costumes, because it happened right after Charlie Kirk, the reenactments, the people on TikTok making light of his death. Best thing to do is not say nothing at all. For me personally, did I care about him? No. Actually, the first day I saw him was the day before his death, which is eerily weird that he would come across my feed the day before his death. And then I'm like, wow, that was that guy, you know? But if you're going to sit here and tell and be mad at anyone from the left who mocked Charlie Kirk's death, let's talk about, well, he don't like Donald Trump. He don't like Donald Trump. But let's talk about Donald Trump and how he mocked people in death. That's the president of the United States. There's been other people that have mocked people in death. And let me tell you this, those drill songs where they're talking about kids who've lost their life and talking about we smoking on a this pack and smoking on a that pack, that's not acceptable either. So it's bragging about death is not acceptable on any level. So I don't know where Nick is going at about this, because I don't see him calling out Donald Trump for it. I don't see him calling out anyone else for mocking the deaths of others.
They were happy. They smiled. They laughed. And those people are the sole beneficiaries of the conspiracy. That's all you need to know. The hatred that killed Charlie Kirk, the people that hated him, that celebrated his murder, that said his wife should have gotten it, Those people are the sole beneficiaries of his death. Of the conspiracy that has discredited his organization, the conspiracy that divided the right, that got them off the hook. Those smiles should have been turned into frowns very quickly by the Trump government. What else is the Trump government there to do? Why else do we have it? Why else were we a part of this movement other than that? Where there were smiles and grinning and laughing, there should have been crying and the gnashing of teeth from those wicked people. The government should have absolutely crushed those people, deservedly so, because it's happening all the time. And we see it in our society. It's when the healthcare CEO got shot and famous people were celebrating. A father and a husband get murdered by a coward shooting him in the back of the head because they said, well, healthcare's too expensive. So we're murderers now? So we support murder? That's okay now? An innocent man with a wife and kids, and not like that matters. He'd be innocent if he didn't have that. But an innocent man standing outside his hotel, shot in the back of the head by a coward. People celebrate because, healthcare is too expensive.
That was a calculated hit. I can't remember the specifics, but maybe I'll Google it at some point. Maybe I won't, but I just remember him doing it because one of his family members wasn't able to get health care coverage or wasn't able to get coverage because of some condition or something. And he said, I'll take y'all out from the top. You cut the head off the snake, the body dies. Now that sounds unfortunate, but that's his logic. That was his logic at the time.
Charlie Kirk shot in the neck, blood gushing, people smiling and celebrating. Why? Because he voted for Trump? Because he supports Trump? Because he wants a meritocracy instead of equity?
No, I think it's about his rhetoric. I don't think it has anything with him voting for Trump. Like if you're mad at anyone for voting for Trump, maybe you should reevaluate your life thoughts.
Those people should have been annihilated. They should have been prevented from ever holding power again. That's what should have happened. And there's an alternate timeline, by the way, where Candace Owens doesn't exist and Tucker Carlson doesn't exist. And a week after Charlie Kirk is assassinated, we round up Antifa, we round up the DSA, we round up the far left agitators and activists and foot soldiers and donors, and we make it so that they are never able to hold power over us ever again. There's an alternate timeline where that happens. And by the way, there's a ripple effect. Think about the timeline. Charlie Kirk killed on September 10th. A few months later, we discover the fraud in Somalia, about the $8 billion these Somalis are stealing from us. We uncover the extent of this. We send Customs and Border Patrol and ICE into the city to clean it up. Who shut it down? When ICE came to Minneapolis to prevent these foreigners from stealing from us, and this is in the New York Times, they said Somalians stole $9 billion from Minnesota taxpayers. And when the Minnesota Attorney General found out about it, the Somalian community said, if you try to press charges, we will accuse you of racism. We'll bring the DOJ down on you. We'll accuse you of racism and say, you're discriminating against us. This is the contempt with which these people hold us in. The left and their foreign-born allies. We send in ICE to clean this up, and who stood in the way and prevented ICE from deporting these people or shutting down the fraud? It was the
white women. White women. White women.
Same radical left that killed Charlie Kirk, that was chasing ICE through the streets in cars, that was punching them and trying to attack them as they apprehended illegal immigrants. And that's ultimately why we don't have mass deportations. Think of the ripple effect. If we had held the left accountable in September 2025, we could have deported the Somalis in December 2025. We could carry out mass deportations without ICE agents having to cover their face out of fear of retaliation. We could deport illegals without ICE agents having to fear being sniped at or blown up at ICE facilities. Maybe, I know this is crazy, Elon Musk could cut the deficit a little bit without people setting Tesla dealerships on fire and blowing up Teslas and vandalizing them in the street. That's what we're up against. Don't you see the bigger picture? This is the evil that we're up against.
I don't know, man. That's a bit far much for me. You're going too far right, Nick. You're going too far right, Nick. Come back to the middle, man. I don't think it's getting that bad. But although life is tough right now, would Elon Musk money be able to change the trajectory of America's wealth system? Making $125,000 a year is considered lower middle class right now. Could Elon Musk change that for everyday Americans with his money? Absolutely not. Now, could he put programs in place for people to earn and learn? Make America a better place using the technology that he already has to power more motorized vehicles or electric motorized vehicles? Trump not having it. He wants to drill, baby, drill, man. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section.